Moses Economos, the late bloomer. Moses Economos out of Conroe, Texas. 3-star running back, 5'11", 195 pounds. 92 speed, 90 acceleration, 90 change of direction. Clutch archetype, clear-headed, and road dog mentals. Ranked as a 3-star prospect, and here's why. Moses Economos didn't play organized football until his junior year of high school. His parents, Elena and Peter Economos, are both educators in Conroe. Elena teaches elementary PE with a focus on play-based learning. Peter's a high school counselor who's watched too many burned-out athletes show up at his office by age 16. When Moses wanted to play youth football at age 8, his parents said, "Not yet." They explained that his body was still developing and that the best athletes often started later. So from ages 8 to 15, Moses developed the old-fashioned way. Backyard football with neighborhood kids, pickup basketball where teams changed every game, swimming races where rules were negotiated on the spot, just pure, unstructured play. He was building something valuable, adaptability. In organized sports, you learn one system. In free play, you learn to read situations, create solutions on the fly, adjust to constantly changing variables. And he was playing because he wanted to, not because a coach demanded it or parents pressured him. Pure love for competition. Summer before junior year, Moses approached his parents about playing football. He'd watched Friday night games and wanted to be a part of something bigger. His parents didn't just say yes, they investigated, attended practices at Conroe High, talked to players, met with coaches, and asked questions most parents never think of. How do you handle mistakes during practice? What's your philosophy on playing time for developing players? How do you create psychological safety while maintaining high standards? The coaching staff, led by Coach Donald Harrison, impressed them. Coach Harrison was trying to create something different than the typical authoritarian model, so they agreed Moses would play his junior year. Something interesting happened mid-season. As Moses learned the basics, his years of unstructured play became an advantage. Where other running backs followed their assigned lanes, even when they were closing, Moses trusted his eyes and made creative cuts. Where others stuck to the playbook, Moses saw opportunities coaches hadn't drawn up. His stats weren't spectacular junior year. He was still learning. But coaches noticed. Moses was always in the right place at the right time. His football IQ was developing rapidly because he wasn't just memorizing plays. He was understanding the chess match, the way he learned to understand every backyard game he'd ever played. Senior year, Moses rushed for 1,247 yards and 14 touchdowns. Good numbers, but not eye-popping in Texas, where multiple backs post 2,000-yard seasons. What the stats didn't show, his consistency in crucial moments. 4th and 2, goal line, closing minutes of a close game, Moses was a player his team wanted with the ball. That's why he's clutch, not flashy highlight runs, just reliable production when it matters most. Moses developed athleticism, creativity, and football IQ in ways that early specialization prevents. His body isn't worn down from years of full contact practices. His love for the game is pure. His learning curve suggests massive upside. But when recruiters see 2 years varsity experience, they move on to players with 4-year resumes. It doesn't matter what the tape shows. Coach Harrison wrote in his recommendation letter, "In 25 years of coaching, I've never seen a player develop as rapidly as Moses Economos. He came to us without bad habits, without fear of mistakes, without emotional baggage from years of poor coaching. He learned football with curiosity, creativity, and confidence." Most recruiters will see 2 years and move on. They'll miss everything that matters. When Moses talked to Coach O'Connell, he expected questions about his limited experience. Instead, Coach O'Connell asked, "Tell me what you learned playing pickup basketball that translates to reading defenses. Your parents made an intentional choice about when you started. What did that teach you about development? I see creativity in your cuts that most running backs don't have. Where does that come from? He saw Moses' late start as an advantage, not a red flag. Moses Economos is unheralded because recruiters see 2 years experience and stop listening. They miss the creativity, the adaptability, the pure love for competition that comes from learning to play before learning to perform. Moses Economos, Conroe, Texas. Welcome to the Unheralded Dynasty. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Unheralded Dynasty with the UTSA Roadrunners. If you're new to the Dynasty, this is where I recruit 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars, and JUCO guys only. And we're just looking for unheralded talent, guys that want to come in, that love football, that want to work hard, that are mentally tough, and guys that want to prove themselves through a process of development. A quick note before we keep going. I've been creating a ton of backstory content for this Dynasty. So far, I've only been the one to kind of read through some of these things I've created, whether it's a player's backstory, a newspaper article written about the team. I've shared some things, but I've got a lot more things I'm cooking up. Some player profiles, full scouting reports, recruiting visit narratives. You saw some of that stuff. Stuff to me that really enriches this universe I'm building, but doesn't quite fit into episodes. So I started a Substack. That was the best way, the easiest way, with the limited amount of time I have. I thought it was the best way to get all that information out, put it out on Substack. You know, it's basically the expanded universe of the Unheralded Dynasty. A little more in-depth, a little more behind the scenes. And it's just all that supplemental content that makes this feel a little bit more real. So I nerd out on it. I love creating it. I want to put it out there in case there's somebody else out there who loves diving into that stuff. So if that sounds interesting, there's a link in the description. No pressure. It's just there if you want to go deeper. All right, let's get back to it. Week 5, coming off a really tough loss to TCU. If you saw that game, we ended up going for 2 to win the game with about 11 seconds left. I got a little trigger happy, threw the ball too soon to Bickerstaff, and I may have pushed the button too hard, tried to fire it in there. It was inaccurate, and we ended up losing by 1. But overall, a great game by our team. And speaking of all that supplemental information, my Substack has a couple of articles written by some fictional sports writers and sports personalities. So if you want to hear what they have to say, again, click that link, check out that Substack if you want to nerd out a little extra. But I feel like we pulled a lot from that win. We showed, Texas A&M, we showed we were never really out of a game. We came back, fell short there, went toe-to-toe with TCU on the road, hostile environment. Our guys are growing through these experiences. Now we head back on the road to UL Monroe. They're 2-2. 1-2 in the conference. You can see here, 77 overall. A lot of people would think, hey, this is an easy win, or they're thinking it's a trap game. I mentioned at the end of the TCU game, we've got to approach every game with the same intensity and same focus, same preparation. And so for me, as the controller of this team and the players, I'm basically speaking to myself. But a 77 overall team, we all know, in college football 25 and in college football 26, heck, even in NCAA 14, these teams can beat you, and they can make you look bad. So I've got to be ready. Our team's got to be ready. Here's the conference standings in the Creole Plains Conference. Houston up top, LSU, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Memphis, Rice, and then us. Texas State right behind us. You can see UL Monroe is 10th. I think it's going to be a close battle here in our conference. I think we look at LSU and Texas A&M as kind of the top-tier teams. Maybe Texas Tech is thrown in there. But I think it's a battle between a handful of teams to get into that conference championship. If LSU or Texas A&M slip up, I think there's going to be somebody ready to grab a spot in the conference championship. All right, let's see where we stand in recruiting. So if you're new to the channel, we got 12 guys this year. We brought in 35 classes, both our first year and second year. This year, obviously, we don't need as many guys. We narrowed it down to 12 that we think are really going to fit with what we're doing. Starts with Jason Trail. You saw his bio. Again, I have a blast putting those together. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. But he looks like a really good quarterback for us. We'll just dive into him since we did a bio on him. He's got the magician ability, moves in the pocket well. Field general at Platinum already. That's what we look for. I know Alex Jolly has that mental as well. So Coach Al Waysby Cruton has done a fantastic job of getting us quarterbacks with that ability. He's got 93 throw power, 88 speed, 96 acceleration. He can be a real problem. And I think he may push Alex Jolly for playing time. We got Sateki Singh, for another gear. He's got gold field general. So after a redshirt year, I think Jason Trail can push for playing time, but he's going to have to compete with Alex Jolly. So we're setting ourselves up really well at quarterback here. Moses Economos, you guys saw his bio at the beginning of the video. Really good elusive back out of Conroe, Texas. 92 speed, 90 acceleration, 87 agility, 90 change of direction. After a redshirt year, he's going to push for playing time. We got a stacked backfield right now. You guys all saw Sean Boone turn it up against TCU, have a great game. We have a lot of guys that are able to do that, and Moses is just going to be the next in line. Texas State, trying to make a move. You can see we're more than doubling their progress. I think we're okay here, just keeping 40 on him with no visit. We'll see what Texas State does if they throw a visit on there. We'll see if we have to respond. We got a better pipeline tier, so I'm feeling good here. Juan Ringo, deep threat, 6'3", 197. Only team offering him. We got a good pipeline tier. Texas Tech could make it interesting down the road. Hopefully we get some guys signed and we can start throwing more points in to guys like Juan Ringo. So Texas Tech doesn't really have a chance. Maurice Cox, I think Charlotte came back on him. I know for a while they were off, and they decided to try to jump back in, but I think we'll sign Maurice Cox next week, which is great because then we could throw some of his points into Ringo. Benji Darling, right guard, nobody else after him. We're going to keep him as is. We don't have a pipeline tier. You can see Bowling Green, Kent State do. We'll just keep an eye on this and adapt as needed. Courtney Busby, we'll probably sign in a few weeks here. Left end out of Rosemount, Minnesota, my home state, so I'm always trying to get some Minnesota kids in here. His cousin, Frank Busby, out of Tupelo, Mississippi. More of a battle here. Tempted to throw 10 points in, or maybe even just a visit, I think. Let's see. If we visit him, yeah, he gets a bonus with Bobby Vernon. So I'm going to visit Frank Busby with Bobby Vernon, and hopefully we can kind of squash those other teams that are coming after him. And we're going to say athletic facilities. So our hours are used up. We'll see if we have to adjust anything else. Eli Dingle, 2-star pass coverage outside linebacker. You can see Virginia's going after him. James Madison, Northwestern, I'll have scholarships on him. They got pipelines. We don't, but we're throwing 50 into him. I'm feeling comfortable here, but we'll have to keep an eye on Virginia. Larry Bowenko, another 2-star right outside linebacker. Pass coverage tendency. You can see New Mexico's there, New Mexico State, UNLV, all going after this kid. I think we're still doubling New Mexico and New Mexico State. New Mexico State, maybe not, but I think we're outdoing them. But the Aggies have a Week 10 visit. We have time to decide if we need to make a visit. We're in Week 5, so we'll keep an eye on that. Bobby Vernon coming in Week 6. We got a boost with him, with Frank Busby. They're going to hit it off, help each other commit. I don't think Appalachian State will have a chance to get him to visit in Week 11. And then Donatello Anthrop, nobody else after him. And Alejandro Mandarino, again, nobody else after him. So feeling good about the board. Everybody's looking good. And we'll see if we have to add more guys. Again, I'm continually looking at our roster, seeing if there's somebody that may transfer out who's not a good fit. So we may add 1 or 2 more, depending on the choices of some of the guys on the team already. All right, that's our board. I want to check out top classes, see if anything's changed. Georgia signed 2 5-stars, a right end, a right outside linebacker. We knew it was coming. Oregon's there with the left end 5-star. Auburn's getting some good 4-stars in. USF only 3 stars, but they're coming in at 4th. LSU's putting together a good class. Texas Tech is down here. I saw Houston. So we've got 3 conference foes in the top 15 that are putting together pretty good recruiting classes. Hopefully we can keep up with a 12-man signing class, 12, 13, 14, whatever it ends up being. I don't know that we crack the top 50. I don't know if 3 stars are enough to do that. We'll have to wait and see. All right, let's move on. All right, time to scout and game plan for ULM. Let's dive into their head coach first. Okay, so ULM is coached by Jason Robinson, D+ prestige, 48-23 career record. This is his first year with ULM. They're going to have a multiple offense, which is exactly as it sounds. They're going to give multiple formations, and so we got to be ready for what they're going to throw at us. A good time to mention, I did switch our defense to a 4-3 multiple defense. I think after just kind of diving into the X's and O's, how the game plays, I like having 4 down linemen. I like having 3 linebackers. I just feel more comfortable, with 7 guys in the box to stop the run and then have some of them with the pass coverage ability. I feel really comfortable with the guys on our roster right now that can do that. So we're a 4-3 multiple. ULM is going to be a 4-2-5. So really, pass-centric defense. I think we could take advantage and get a run game going against their 4-2-5. We'll dive into their personnel, but just seeing 4-2-5, I think we can run the ball. You can see his bowl record is 4-1. He's had some solid seasons, 4-6 versus the top 25, so he's played in some big games. Again, not a team we can take lightly this week. All right, let's dive into players. All right, offensively, ULM is led by Jimmy Economos. He's playing at 79 overall. You can see his speed, acceleration, agility, change of direction, all in the 90s. And so we thought the kid from TCU was tough to contain. Jimmy Economos is going to be equally tough to stop here. I figured out how to put DNs on contain, linebackers or DBs on spy, so I think I can make the adjustments to get Jimmy Economos contained. Jimmy has 97 throw power, 87 short accuracy. You can see his physical abilities. He's got Magician. He's got Option King, both at silver. And then he's got Platinum off platform. And then the natural mental ability at silver. So a solid quarterback. He's only rated at 78, plays at 79. Again, that's a scrambling tendency in this game. Medium accuracy looks good. Deep accuracy is not great, but good enough at 82. Throw on the run, 80. Under pressure at 77. That's where I think if we can get to him, we can maybe get some errant throws. And I think moving to that 4-3 defense for the most part should help us generate more passing down and distances. Break sack at 75. Play action is 96. We have to look out for this. And then carrying, ball carrier, vision, juke move. I mean, this guy is an athlete. So we got to be ready to stop him, both in the scrambling game, the option game, and the passing game. At running back, they got Dakota Moultrie, a 5'8", 191 elusive back. He's got bronze 360, 90 speed, 91 acceleration, 92 agility. Carrying's at 88, so fumbles may not be an issue. I got to work on just tackling and hitting A instead of trying to strip the ball anyway. Ball carrier vision is good enough. Break tackle's a little bit low, trucking low. He's an elusive back, so you would expect that. Spin move 82, juke 86. He can catch out of the backfield. So a good enough weapon for them out of the backfield. He does have the bronze 360, so he can make guys miss. Wide receiver. This is probably their weakest position group. You can see 75 overall, 72. No bumps in attributes, but Linderbaum at 75, redshirt sophomore. Now, pass defense in this game is more difficult, but I think we can force a pick or two and get in really good position to especially knock balls down and just make it tough for these receivers. Tight end. They got Johnny Tobin, 69 overall as a senior, not very good. Speed at 82, he's a possession guy, not anybody we're going to worry too much about. And maybe even somebody we attack. Left tackle, Randy Ryan's 82 overall, power left tackle. I think our right end, Ron Hilassi, will have his work cut out for him. I think Ron is playing at a 78, 79. So it'll be a good matchup. I think Ron is a speed rusher, so he may kind of counter Randy Ryan's and take advantage and see his pass block finesse at 80. I mean, that's probably going to be a good battle. I thought maybe we could take advantage of that, but Ron Hilassi will battle there. Again, he's a Minnesota kid. He's tough. He'll figure out a way to win enough matches here to make a difference. Left guard, Javon Bosby, 86 overall. This is their best O-lineman. He's not fast. He's a power guard. Awareness is low for, I think, all their offensive linemen, but their run block power, I think, is good and something we got to be aware of. And again, going into that 4-3, I feel more confident being able to stop their run. We've got some really good defensive linemen with great attributes and also some physical skills. Inside disruptor, outside disruptor, option disruptor. We got some guys that can make plays. So I feel good about this battle. At center, they got Emmanuel Vela playing at 79 overall. Again, I think our D tackles can take advantage of this matchup all game long. I think both our D tackles are playing above 85 at least. So again, on paper, we should win quite a few of these battles. And he is a pass protector, so run block's going to be low. And I just think inside we can win this battle. Right guard 78, Kyle Carmen. I got strength at 77. He's a pass block guy. I think our D tackles can have a field day against ULM. Right tackle, Javon Bohannon, playing at 81 overall, power tendency. He's got the inside shield. He's got silver ground and pound, so some good abilities. I just think our left end Vasquez outmatches him. And he's got physical abilities as well, inside disruptor, outside disruptor. So I think in the trenches, I think we've got the advantage. Left end, Nate Thrash, their best defender, I think. He's got quick jump at bronze, takedown at bronze. He's going to be matched up with our right tackle, Anthony Mendoza. Anthony's got second level at bronze, screen enforcer at silver. So maybe we try to run a screen to Thrasher's side, see if we can catch him off guard. But Mendoza's going to have his work cut out for him. Mendoza's probably playing at 80. He's ranked at 83, so he's probably playing at 84, 85. We have to get a tight end to his side, but we got to be aware of Nate Thrash and his quick jump for sure. But Mendoza's an agile right tackle. I think he can win this battle more times than not. And again, if we get a chip on Thrash or a running back to help out, I think we can manage this. But he's the player that makes me the most nervous on their defense. At right end, they got Sammy Tyler, another speed rusher. He's going to be matched up against John Costanzo, who's rated at 90 overall. He's got platinum inside shield and silver ground and pound. I like that matchup. Costanzo's a power tendency, but I think he's got pass block finesse up high enough where he can kind of stymie Sammy Tyler for most of the game. At D tackle, Josh Esposito, playing at 82 overall. We've got Tyler Ali, Nick Vallejo, and Eric Colombo in there. All of them are rated 84 or 84 or 85. I think Colombo's 84. The other two are 85. But again, a good matchup. Vallejo and Colombo are agile, which makes me hesitate a little bit, and they don't have any physicals. Tyler Ali is a power tendency, so I feel better about that matchup. And Ali's got inside shield, so still feeling pretty good about the matchups here across our offensive line. Britton Duggins, D tackle, playing at 80 overall. He's a run stopper type, a big body, 6'3", 324. He's bigger than all of our O linemen, but I think we'll be able to move him with a double team and get to the second level. Left outside linebacker, they got Teddy Wall playing there. He's a right outside linebacker. He's rated at 75. He jumps up to 82. We've seen that before. He's a run stopper tendency, not that fast. Awareness is low. Play rec is at 84. Tackling is a little bit low for a linebacker. He's just kind of an average linebacker, which you would expect at 82 overall. So not super concerned here as well, getting to the second level and stopping Teddy if he's on the field in the 4-2-5. Amari Chabara, playing at 86 overall. He's a run stopper, but he's got 99 play rec. His tackling's at 88. Block shedding's a little bit low, so I think we could run at him. Pursuit is okay. Man coverage, zone coverage is at 98. So he could be a problem as we kind of throw over the middle some of our drag routes, our mesh concepts, and things like that. So got to keep an eye out where number 50 is. Right outside linebacker, they got Tim Stark. He's a left outside linebacker, playing at 80 overall. Power rusher, only 73 speed. Play rec is at 92 though. Block shedding is low. I think we can run at these guys. Tim Stark is out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Everybody's after those Minnesota kids. He's got grip breaker as a physical ability, so he is strong enough to take on blocks. But his block shedding is so low. I feel like our run game could really explode if we execute well. At corner, they got Brian Wood, 83 overall. Our wide receiver room is probably the lowest rated group on our team. I think Toner is playing at 80, and so this will be a good matchup. Can we throw the ball? After playing Texas A&M, TCU, our guys have been tested. ULM played TCU as well. They just played them last week. We'll dive into that game. But I think another area we can kind of exploit here, where there's going to be an even matchup or we get the slight edge. But Brian has bronze house call. Tim Stock has bronze house call. Miles Moffitt, 86 speed. Olszewski has 93 speed, but he's only 63 overall. So again, another area where I think we can really take advantage. Free safety, they got Miles Gilmore, maybe the second best player on their defense. Playing as a hybrid, 95 speed. Play rec at 87. Man coverage is there. You can see physical. Bronze house call. Zone is a little bit low. Tackling is okay. Pursuit, block shed, jumping 96. So again, nobody really jumps off the page here for the team. They're rated at 77 overall across the board. But we see enough that it's not a team you can take lightly. And that strong safety, I think this is where we really need to target. Siaki Fane, 76 overall, 84 speed. Everything's kind of mid, upper 70s. I think something we can take advantage of. And then Trufant will be on the field as well. He's only playing at 70. Zone coverage at 66. Maybe something we target there. So as we look through, I feel like we have the edge on a lot of our matchups. There's a few guys that give me, pause for concern. That would be Chabara, Thrash. And then honestly on offense, I think Jimmy Econom could be a real problem if he gets out of the pocket and scrambles or runs the option game. Wide receiver is not super concerned about. Their O-line is okay. Left guard is their best player. Bosby, he's a power guy. He's got ground and pound, inside shield. So they could run the ball against us. But again, I think switching to 4-3 is really going to help us. All right, that's a deep dive into their personnel. We talked matchups. Feeling good about this. Okay, so game plan wise, one thing I didn't talk about yet is that I moved Ezekiel Abraham into the slot. I think he just offers a little bit more. You can see he's 82 compared to Bickerstaff 79. He's got the safety valve. I just think he offers a little bit more catching wise. And then that way he's not getting worn down in the backfield, taking big hits. He's got 92 catch, 90 catch in traffic. I'm thinking back to the TCU game, the 2-point conversion. That ball was catchable. It wasn't a great throw. It was low and behind the receiver, Bickerstaff. But I just thought, if we had somebody in there, 92 catch compared to 80, 90 catch in traffic compared to 72, 82 spec catch compared to 60. Maybe Abraham comes down with that ball. And Bickerstaff is a good running back. He's got better ball carrier vision, 97 compared to 89. And so I think this move is really going to open up our offense and help elevate it to the next level. And we got Boone, Sun, and Chukwu all ready to go and get carries as well. We saw Sean Boone explode in the TCU game. He's definitely ready to play. I think, Sun and Chukwu are the same. So that's the biggest move offensively for us. Everything else has stayed the same. And I think in this game, our biggest asset is that we have a really good blocking fullback and we have a really good blocking tight end. You can see Yeast put on some weight here over the offseason. I think he was at 225 or 222 maybe. So he bulked up over the offseason and the game forgot to reflect that. But he's playing at 255 now. I think that exemplifies anybody who moves to tight end. Now they're going to have to bulk up. But he's got second level. He's got quick drop. So we can have 7 really good run blockers against whatever they throw at us. And I feel really, really confident in our running game. I think we can also run the ball 4 wide just with our 5 offensive linemen. But to really establish a run, I think we can lean on Yeast and Campagnaro to help us out. I think we got the edge across the O-line. Passing-wise, they may have that edge rusher that can get home, but I think we can handle him for the most part. And I think one thing, passing-wise, I think we've got the edge. If just slightly in the passing game. I really trust Toner, Fleming, Vaughn. I trust all these guys. If needed, I can throw Milburn in there to burn by somebody. Charbonnet's had some reps. I really like our receiving core. I think they're just unproven. Toner's coming in, had one year of JUCO ball and kind of stepped up. But he's got sure hands. Looking at the ULM cornerbacks, I think we've got the edge. And you add in the free safety. The strong safeties aren't super great. The free safety is a little bit better, but their strong safeties are pretty weak. So if we can identify one of them in zone or even man, I think we target him. And then defensively, I was mentioning, we got Kevin Vasquez. He's got inside disruptor, outside disruptor, option disruptor, recoup, DL rally. This guy's a leader on our team. Ron Hillassy, he's unproven. He's made some big plays though. He's just a redshirt freshman. Speed rusher, can really get to the edge for us. And then up the middle, we got Sisk, Coppin, really good. Bavaro was showing that he can play. Small and Laporta are coming along. But on the defensive line, I think we can win those battles. Sisk has inside disruptor, outside option. Coppin has grip breaker, option disruptor. So I feel really good about our ability to stop the run. Now, getting pressure in the pass game is a little bit different. We got Hillassy that can do that. If we go into a rush set, Vasquez is there at left end, right end Hillassy, tap, and then rush CT isn't going to change, Sisk and Coppin. So, aside from them getting tired, that's kind of our D line. Bavaro will step in. We've seen tap in some situations. And so my biggest concern with our D line is getting pressure on the quarterback. But I think we could do that against this O-line. Grimm has shown to be a really valuable player for us, playing at 82 overall. That's a 5 overall spike. In the middle, we got Ware, just a redshirt freshman, but he's playing solid. Run stopper, he's got good speed, good acceleration. Dillard continues to be a nuisance for opposing offenses. He's got bronze wrap-up, bronze grip breaker, platinum outside disruptor, and silver inside disruptor. So this guy can make plays all over the field. His pass coverage is good. Man at 91, zone 84. How did he get beat by that running back twice last week? That's crazy. But Dillard is somebody, he can cover the field. There are really no weaknesses in his game. You can see he's 91 overall for a reason. At corner, again, we saw their highest rated receiver was 75 overall. I think we can slow them down significantly. I think we can cover them. Depending on the situation, I think we can hold them, to 250 passing yards. We did it against TCU, albeit they had one less possession because they had a pick six or whatever. But I think we can hold the receivers in check. Free safety Hernandez has been pretty good. He dropped a pick, I thought, that really could have sealed the game last week. But as a JUCO junior, he's really stepped in for us. And then strong safety, Kasim Gregg, he makes plays all over the field as well. So I feel like we got the advantage everywhere. And you look down at the bottom of their depth chart here, you can see Raphael Cleveland. He is injured. He's not playing. Looks like Miguel Ramey's not playing as well. So two of their top 3 corners are not playing. Ramey looks like he could have been a problem too, 93 speed. Cleveland's playing, 83 overall. So we're kind of hitting them at a point where they're down to their top 3 corners. Moffitt and Stocky, they're not terrible, but they're not Cleveland and Ramey. Cleveland has platinum house call, silver blanket coverage. Ramey has bronze house call, bronze wrap up. Stocky has bronze house call, I guess, but Moffitt doesn't really offer anything. So we're catching a break there. Really gives us the advantage in the passing game, I think. Sub linebacker, we got Dillard in passing situations. In the slot, we got Machado and Tut. So we're really looking to go into 21 personnel quite a bit. We're going to run a lot of power behind our O-line with Campagnaro. We're going to run inside zone. We're going to do the counters. We're going to do ISOs. I think everything's on the table. The RPOs. We just got to read the situation and not be afraid to stick with running. Even if they do show that they can stop it, I think we can wear them down. And I think especially against a 4-2-5 defense, they're built for speed, pass coverage. I think we can run the ball really well. I like Abraham in the slot. I think we can get a lot of mismatches there against their linebackers, against a slot. I think he can win. I think the biggest challenge for me, is to not get complacent and not assume that because we're rated, 8 overall better, that we're going to just come out and kind of walk all over them. All right, they're going to fight, but I really think that's the biggest challenge for us is just keeping our focus, staying level-headed, just continuing to execute, and just be ready to win any way we have to. So our offensive game plan doesn't change much. Our defensive game plan changes only because we're in a 4-3 now. But I think that'll put our guys in better position to make plays on defense. We're going to lean on our offensive line. We're going to add in Yeast at tight end, Campagnaro at fullback, and really establish the run game early on. But I think we're in a good position to come away with a win. It just comes down to staying focused, not getting ahead of ourselves, not assuming we're going to win, and just taking it play by play. So that's going to do it for this episode. And if you made it this far in the video, let me know what you think of our recruiting board and who's the recruit you're most excited about. And don't forget, the link to my Substack is going to be in the description. So check that out if you want a further deep dive into the Unheralded Dynasty. And then be sure to join us for the gameplay against ULM, see if we can execute our game plan and come away with a win. But until then, keep gaming, keep growing, and keep celebrating those obscure victories. Game on.